Oh yeah, did y'all see my community post where I found Warcraft 1 as a browser game? It's like a retro gaming site, but it's all browser based, so you don't have to install anything. But I never actually played it, so I played it. I only got 3 levels in, but holy shit, I played a little bit of Warcraft 3 and a little bit of like StarCraft and stuff. So it I wasn't really put off by like the older models, the older technology. What put me off was the fact that it was so fucking slow. Like it took forever just to get a grunt to walk anywhere and explore the map. It's like, shit, I need a gold mine. Where the fuck are all the gold mines? Well, they just go. They walk really slow. I want to play Warcraft 2 now, because, again, that's another one. It's like, I've seen gameplay, I just never actually played it myself. I only played a little bit of Warcraft 3 on somebody else's computer, and that was it. I looked up the different levels, though, for Warcraft 1, just to see. And they added a lot of lore to the first war over the years. So, like, I already know the lore of the first war, right? The orcs invade, they destroy Stormwind, there's a couple of heroes involved, you got Garona, you got Gul'dan, you got all these characters, right? Well, then you go back and play Warcraft 1, and then you realize how much lore was either changed or added. If you read the quest text of the human campaign and the orc campaign, it is so bare bones basic and it's beautiful. Literally, it's like, for the orc campaign, it's level 1, set up a base and some farms. Okay, and then you have to kill all the humans on the map, and there's like 10 humans on the map, so just kill them, and they don't even have a base, they're just scattered. So it's like the introduction level, right? Step 2, what's step 2 is the Borderlands level. That one, there's more humans, because they're starting to encroach. Go kill them. And then level 3, well now you gotta go in, actually start hunting humans on their land, and yada yada. Anyway, it's basically that, right? And you are like supposed to be like just like the general or whatever of the horde, taking orders from Blackhand. Blackhand is the only named character. Well, there's one more named character, but Blackhand is the only named character right now. There is no Grommash. There is no Kilrog. There's no Gul'dan. And for the Alliance, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, set up, okay, oh, the orcs are slowly starting to come in, blah, 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 and then they kind of like go like this, right? So the orcs get into the human lands, and the humans go into the orc lands, which is Swamp of Sorrows, but the Swamp of Sorrows has the Black Rock Spire in it. That all got changed later on. But, wait, do I have the original map? That's one of the leather maps, but it's not the one. Ah, crap. Anyway. So it basically ends up like halfway through, something happens on each side. So like one of the levels on the orc side is Grisla, or I think that's her name, Grisla, Gretelsta, I don't know, something like that, who's the daughter of Blackhand, because remember he had 2 sons and a daughter. The daughter ran off with an ogre, so he orders you to go and kill the daughter and all the ogres who are hiding in the dead mines, and then you kill all the humans while you're in there. The humans get word that the orcs were all in there, and they had captured Anduin Lothar, who had gone missing for years, but suddenly he's shown back up, so they have to go into the dead mines, kill the orcs, and rescue him and heal him. After that, I don't remember. Oh, I remember. The humans get word that King Lane, had died to assassination from the half-orc Garona. And while on the Horde side, before that happens, they get to find Garona, who gives them intel. So Garona doesn't get possessed or any of this bullshit. She just goes in there and assassinates the bitch. So that's one of the changes. Then afterward, Black Hand is no longer a proper leader. They don't explain it. They just say Black Hand is slacking. Now is your time to take command of the Horde. So then now you're doing Orc versus Orc, and you're going against the Horde with your group of Orcs, and eventually you overthrow Black Hand and you become the war chief. And then from there you go, and the final level is Stormwind, and that's what you take over is Stormwind. Well, you have to do like Moonbrook, and you have to do Goldshire and I think Northwatch and all that, or Northshire and all that stuff. But then you go and you take over Stormwind, and you fucking win, right? And then you see the picture of the orcs sitting on the chair, and orcs are victorious, while the humans, they march into Swamp of Sorrows, they take out Stonard and Rockhard, and then they move to the Black Rock Spire, and then that's where they destroy the Black Rock Spire and become victorious. So in the Warcraft lore, they merged both of those stories, so they both won and lost at the same time. Stormwind gets destroyed, Black Rock Spire doesn't get destroyed, but the orcs lose on that battlefield. So it was kind of like they both won and lost at the same time, just like in the game, with a lot of their heroes and a lot of their leaders being killed on each side. And then they both regroup, the Alliance of Azeroth, the Kingdom of Azeroth, which gets renamed to the Kingdom of Stormwind later on, but it's Kingdom of Azeroth. I've never agreed with that change. Anyway, they all move up north to Lordaeron. Well, now the orcs are regrouping, and Ogrim takes over, and this is Warcraft 2. This is the second war. Ogrim takes over, which technically you are Ogrim in Warcraft 1, because you become the war chief, right? Well, Ogrim is now the war chief as of the second war, and he rallies the Horde, who were kind of discouraged after the loss, and they're like, okay, well, we got a new leader, let's keep going. So then they move up north, and they fucking raid Lordaeron. They're taking out everywhere, right? They fucking march on Lordaeron City, they march on, I think they march on the Elflands a little bit. They fucking take out everything. Like, Ogrim, he got it, right? And even then, when they lose the battle and they take Ogrim hostage, fucking Ogrim escapes and he runs off into the wilderness. He doesn't get seen again until Thrall comes around, right? So fucking Ogrim's a badass. Yeah, it's just so funny replaying Warcraft 1 and just seeing all the changes that they did to the lore. All the additions, too. Like, you know, Grommash is not there, even though he's there later on, because they added him. I think Grom is in the second game, because I remember hearing lines of dialogue from him, like, yeah, let's go kill the humans, or I don't remember exactly what he says, but I think Grom is in Warcraft 2. Let me read the chat. There should be an option to speed up the gameplay, if I remember. Ding on your level 30. Nice. Yeah, I actually don't know. I did find some cheat codes, because what happened was, so I played it once and it was fine, and then I played it a second time, but level 1, where all you gotta do is, really the win condition is kill all the humans and make 5 farms and 1 barrack. That's the win condition. Well, I killed all the humans. I even checked with the map online to see where they're all hiding, and I killed all of them. I found all of the mines, I explored 90% of the map, and I had like 6 farms and 2 barracks going, but it didn't win condition for me. It didn't win. So I was like, well, what the fuck? So I found a cheat code online to automatically win you the round, so I just did that. It's so funny, because when you cheat in that game, it's like, oh, you activated the cheat code, you wascally wabbit. I thought that was kind of funny. The devs making fun of you for cheating. But it's like, well, I technically won. I did beat the level. It's just, the game was broken. And actually, I found out, so the first time I played it, I thought that it was a change into the next game where your little characters would fight back if they get attacked first. Because the first time I played it, they did not attack an enemy until they got attacked first. So if I'm got my base right here and just a random human comes along, if they start attacking a building, nothing happened. If they attacked one of my guards, the one guard would attack, but no one else would. The second time I played, apparently that bug got washed out, because then the human would come along to my base, and anyone who was nearby saw him and attacked him. So that I was like, okay, that was just a bug the first time I played it. And same thing when I went around with my band of orcs. Unlike the other games where you can just highlight everybody and Zerg rush them, right? Because I remember doing that in StarCraft, is you can just highlight everybody you can and just send them off. In Warcraft 1, you're limited to 4. So I would just take my orc warband. I would get like 2 grunts and 2 spearmen as of the 2nd level and beyond, and I would just upgrade the spears, and I just send them out as like a freaking warband rushing across the screen. And I don't care if 1 died, but once there's 2 left, I would send 2 more to party up with them, and they just kept going and just wiping out the map. So that was pretty cool. What was I saying? See, this also kind of tells me that, because, you know, I'm critical of retail WoW, right? Like, I don't like what they've been doing gameplay-wise or story-wise, because I am a very tolerant person when it comes to video games. When Cataclysm, I loved vanilla, loved TBC. Well, TBC I think is mid, but I still loved playing the game, right? I loved Wrath of the Lich King. Cataclysm is when a lot of people started going like, "Oh man, this is terrible." Do you want to, like, I started to see definitely what they were talking about, but I still played it. You want to know why? Yeah, even though the gameplay is not that good anymore, I still liked the story, and I still liked role-playing with my friends, and all that stuff held me on. And it's like, I still love these characters and the lore and all this stuff, so I'll tolerate it. Mr. Pandaria came, and I fucking love that expansion, and I just replayed it. I still love it. I love Mr. Pandaria. I liked the story. Yeah, there are issues with the story here and there, but the overall story and even some of the smaller stories I loved. I liked the gameplay. I liked the PvP. I was PvPing then. I didn't quite care for the first few raids, but the last 2 raids I liked. I just liked all the open world stuff, all the roleplay stuff that they built in, plus the roleplay with my friends. It was great. Warlords came around. Warlords is when I really started to get tested, because now remember how I said about, unless you just joined in and don't know what I'm talking about, but there's the overall story of an expansion and then the smaller stories of the expansion. Warlords of Draenor, I think, excelled in the smaller stories, but the overall story was trash. So now the story is starting to go down and not be as good anymore, and that's one of the things that was holding me on. The gameplay, I liked it at the start, but definitely you hit a point where it's like, okay, so is there anything else to do? No, because it got abandoned. The Warlords got abandoned. So it's like, well, shit. So you go like a year and a half with no content, and what little that they did add out was shit. The overall story is shit. So I'm still barely hanging on. I think I only quit in the last like quarter of the expansion to go start playing private servers. And then Legion came around. I came back, and yeah, there are things about Legion I don't like, but I still played it. A Battle for Azeroth. Again, I was on and off. Like, I come back for a new patch for like a month or 2, and then I quit again, and I was on and off. Like, I was really being tested. Again, I am very tolerant of the bullshit, but it gets to a point where it's too much. And because I started being more and more critical, because the game just kept getting more and more shit, people kept telling me. One of the things that people would tell me is that, well, maybe you just outgrew World of Warcraft. Maybe this game is not for you anymore. Motherfucker, let me tell you something. The game changed what audience it was looking for. It is no longer catering to the Warcraft audience. It is catering to fucking Tumblr users, DeviantArt users. That's why the Savage Worgen, remember from the Cataclysm, the Cataclysm opening, the Savage Worgen has joined the Alliance. They turned them into actual furries with softer facial expressions. The fucking Volpera, that's just flat out furry. All that stuff, the Drakthir, why are they even playable? We need, like, no one, everybody wanted, like, a dragon-like race, but we wanted dragons. Again, not Tumblr fucking scaly art. That's all it is, with the fucking flamboyant colored hair like all these fucking college kids from Gen Z and all this bullshit. It's like, are you fucking serious right now? And then, of course, the Dragonflight storyline of the hugs, feelings, and power of friendship. Like, it is now catering to people who don't care for the original Warcraft. So, yeah, it is no longer for me because they changed it. Warcraft is no longer for the people who love Warcraft. I went back, I just replayed Warcraft 1. I didn't finish it, but at least I got the gist of it, and I played half of it. I just replayed Warcraft 1. I just reread in the last year or two, reread a lot of the original books. I'm talking Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, Limited Warcraft 3. All of the books of that time period, I reread them recently. They are fucking awesome. I love all the stories, all the characters. It got me engrossed. I love all of them. I want to reread Shattering now because that one was actually a really good one. Wolfheart, even though that's a Cataclysm book, it was a very good story. I loved it. It's great. So, no, I have not outgrown Warcraft. Warcraft left me, and I would give anything to have that Warcraft back. If Chris Metzen pulls a Hail Mary, and I know he's not going to be able to do it in one expansion, that's why I'm not banking on War Within, because from what I've heard, he joined in halfway through, saw what they were doing, and said, no, let's change this, which got a lot of people pissed off internally. That's what's coming down through the grapevine, and I've heard several people who know people in Blizzard. I know that's kind of like it's a friend of a friend kind of bullshit, but considering there's multiple different people, especially who don't talk to each other, talking about this, there's got to be something to it, right? So, again, I don't think Chris Metz is going to pull a Hail Mary, but he can kind of guide it back into the right direction. And I will wait and see on that, because, again, I'm not giving up on... I'm not playing it right now, but I'm not going to give up on World of Warcraft and Black Pill to the point that I'm going to become apathetic. I'm painting a goddamn orc, for Christ's sake. I've got fucking a Gnoll, several orcs. I've got the Lich King, a Tauren, another orc, Varian, Jaina. I've got all those characters because I love them. Their story is fantastic. It's great. The problem is the people working at Blizzard right now have no respect for the original Warcraft. They don't respect Warcraft 1. They don't respect Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, Vanilla, TBC, Wrath. They don't respect any of that. They don't respect the lore. Like, they can do whatever they want to the gameplay, even though it is dog shit right now. And from what I've heard, a lot of people are saying War Within is not that good. They say the gameplay is boring, the story is lackluster. I saw what's his fucking name, Quinn, just put out like an hour-long video or whatever it was of him saying why he's quitting. I just kind of did a breeze through, but yeah, what he's saying of why he's quitting is basically what we've been saying for years now, but now they're just finally waking up to this. Come the fuck on. So yeah, I want, if Warcraft, like, they don't have to completely erase everything and go back to Classic, right? I like Classic for what it is because it does feel like an RPG. That happens to be an MMO in the world of Warcraft, where you adventure out and explore the world of Warcraft, and then all the main characters can have their adventures alongside you or whatever, and you can do whatever you want because you're just the adventurer, you're the champion of whatever faction. So that means you're not technically in the war like a grunt. You can aid your faction, but you can also go off and do other things, so you're not going to go AWOL and get, killed for abandonment, right? So that was the reason why you were an adventurer or a champion. So I was completely okay with that. But the moment they started making you general, the moment they started making you champion of Azeroth and all this kind of bullshit, then that's when the story started to go declining, because they put too much emphasis on you and not on Thrawn, not on Jaina, the actual main characters of the story. So, like, there's just so much fucking wrong with it right now. Like I said, okay, I kept divulging, but if World of Warcraft, again, they don't have to go into vanilla, if they fix what is currently there, they reintroduce RPG mechanics, I know that they're not going to be able to completely wipe out most of the stuff overnight because the fucking Zoomers are gonna start bitching and crying, but slowly reintroduce them. They don't have... I love ammo, but they don't have to do ammo. They can do something else. They can do something else that is aligned with the RPG. Maybe they give hunters an item that acts like an ammo, but it's a coating, right? So then you can get different buffs for your ammo based on different things that you collect. Like, they can reintroduce things to add more to the RPG, but not have to completely revert it so that the whiners would whine. Just get rid of LFR. There's no need for it to be there. Have easy mode, have hard mode. That's all you need. Not 5 different modes. If you want a 10-man and a 20-man, fine. I would prefer it just be one stock number. Just have it be a 10 or 15-man and be done with it. The story. What they need to do, because we are sick and tired. Most people are sick and tired of these out-of-world, extraterrestrial, interdimensional, all this kind of bullshit enemies, to the point that nothing feels serious anymore. Why would I care about a Null Lord, or a Kobold Lord, or a Nerubian as of this new expansion? Why would I care about that when we've killed gods? We've killed gods. So, without completely retconning, because a big retcon or just a wake up and it didn't happen is kind of a cop-out, especially because they missed the opportunity to do that already when they could have done that with N'Zoth. So what they need to do is, World of Warcraft, in its lore and in its deep lore, have had elements like this. The War of the Ancients, for an example, was technically a big world-ending event. The fucking Legion was invading, and it was destroying everything, killing all the Night Elves, shattering the world. It was terrible, right? Well, it's no longer like that as of a couple thousand years afterward, right? A couple thousand years happen afterward, and then it goes back onto boots on the ground. You got, you know, the War of the Sands, which is just basically elves versus bugs. You got other wars that are just boots on the ground. The Troll Wars, elves versus trolls, and all this other stuff. Eventually, the Orcish Horde invade, and so you can have an existential, I can't say that word, you know what I mean. You can have this big life or world-ending event, and then go back to a normal story after time has passed. So what they need to do is have a time skip. After this last Titan expansion, they need to have like a fucking 50 or longer year time skip, and just say that your character is like the descendant of the original character, but that way you can keep your characters and keep all the stuff, like, because it's inherited or whatever. But then you can have this time skip where world-ending threats are of the past. It's legends, it's myth, and then new factions form because, well, now we're fighting over land again, we're fighting over magic again, whatever have you. There's a new warlock that's trying to take over the kingdom. There's dragons becoming evil again. And then we can go back onto boots on the ground, more realistic in a sense, just gritty fantasy story. That is the only way to fix it without completely retconning it. But are they gonna do it? We don't know.